I thought I would never ever have any brass in my collection ever. I always thought the brass was so expensive and that I would never spend that kind of money for brass. Lo and behold, we had one donated to the channel. Charlie, out of Shelby, North Carolina, he sent up to Shot, I don't know how to say it, Tenshodo? I probably blew it. It's Japanese brass, a GP-20. He sent it up. He's got himself a little YouTube channel doing repairs also. It's called Just Railroading. Want to throw that out there? This guy sent up a lot of really great stuff. We're going to be doing some repairs on it and some revivals and some builds with it coming up in future videos. Let's get into taking a look at what this little GP-20, little Pennsylvanian brass, I'm guessing from the 60s, I think. Let's take a look at it and get into fixing it and getting it running again. Well, let's take a look at this little jewel right here. Paint job has lasted quite some time. It's got a little some nicks on it. The hand railings are really beat up, as usual, because, you know, when you pick them up, guys always seem to squeeze them a little bit here. GP-20, a rare, not a lot of places model the GP-20 from what I have heard. Shell, it's not bolted on. The bolts are missing. I did notice that it's got 3 headlights inside there. It's got the nose, it's got a cab light, and it's got a light for back over here. Then you look at this and it's like, well, this is some of the finest of 1960s technology we can look at. Looks like it's got a 5-pole in it. Doesn't look like anything fancier than what the Japanese sell us at. Anyway, it's got nice brush holders. Goodness. Wow. Yeah, that is fancy. And then it is an all-wheel drive. And I'm hoping that it might be an all-wheel pickup. But we got what's going on over here. And this gear tower up here, I hope it's not a growler. And somebody's done some modifications with the old heat shrink, and it ain't working. It's just a slipping right there. That could create some havoc. And then they built their own driveline. I got to give them credit for that. But these slits here, they have to be different. It has to be one like this and one like this. They both can't be on the same plane because it causes binding issues. U-joint technology says that they got to be 90 degrees clocked. I think I'm going to get a transformer and just see if any juice flows through the motor. Here, one here. Oh, sure. Well, that's a bonus. That driveline, though, what are we gonna do? We're gonna need to get some thicker tubes on there. Oh, it puts out an odor like Lionel, like atmosphere. Whew. Wow. Yep, heat shrink is just not thick enough to use as drivelines. I've seen some people try to do it, and I've never seen it work. Fuel line works better. Can we drop this front truck by pulling this? Looks like that right there. Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Close, but no cigars. It looks like this screw here is holding in the fancy motor. Tenshodo. It might be, or might not be. Here's something down here. This nut was sitting on the bottom of this motor, so it was a 2-jobber for sure. Put that back in. This one's screwed in here. And then this nut went on this shaft here. And that's what held her all in there. Do we got to take that off to get that out of there? Do I have anything that fits that? Maybe. Nope. That's a 3, and that didn't fit. That is a little nut. Holy moly. This pickup. And then they reward me with another nut. Some insulative devices. Got to take the weight off just because it's here. I can. All these dang railings. Stand them up. They're not in bad shape, really. These two are broken off. I don't know what we'll do there. And then that's all bent, a booger. All bent up. Well, we can definitely take this to the sink, clean it up, scrub this thing. Our horns are bent up. The front railings are seen better days. These trucks. This front one with the gear tower. Yeah. Ooh. That grease don't look that bad. Hey, these wheels come out. This looks a lot like the varnish stuff right here, oddly enough, except for this is brass. This gear tower screwed on. Them long bolts, wow. Wow. This pin here is loose. Plus this isn't just lifting out like I hoped. Oh, there we go. Well, that's not bad. This one here will be the same, just, well, there's where the gear tower would bolt onto. So they use the exact same trucks, which makes sense. Front and back, soap and water with the toothbrush on the body to make it look pretty. Odorless mineral spirits, Q-tips, clean all this up, relube it, reassemble it. We got to do a little fancy soldering, clean this little guy up. That armature's just way out there in the open. You could really get to that. Sure. Yep. Little fiberglass pencil, this little guy, the commutator. And then, of course, give it a little taste of oil, front and back. Probably has a wick in it up in here. Tenshoto, Japan. Probably give a little wire wheel after the rust that's on that. Nice looking motor. Jeez. Wish they would have sold us these ones for all the stuff that we have. No, they kept the good ones for themselves. Boogers. Let's get to cleaning. I got one of the trucks cleaned up. It had, the grease that was in there was quite hard. This was loosey. So I went in here and I tightened these up and I realized, well, that's why the axles fell out so easy, is because these were flopping in the wind. So I want these loose. Now these axles, they've got an insulator on one side. They're conductive, and then the other wheel's insulated. So we got to put them both in the same direction with the insulator on the same side so we don't create short outs. And then tighten up the screws, and then keep these little fellers locked in place. Well, that rolls a lot better. So this is sitting like this. And this will be sitting like this, because I've already looked at my drawing. And to make sure that the wheels are in right, we're going to go to horseshoe mode. We can see that we're picking up on this over here. And this is isolated. Nothing happens over on this side. So we need this side to have the juice. Okay, yep. So I just took a guess in the dark, and it ended up being the right one. So those insulators, they are on. This is the back of the locomotive right here. They're on the engineer's side. It's gonna go in like this. This has got a thrust washer on it. As I expected it. Something that, this claims to be engineered the best should have something like that on it. Get out the multi-purpose synthetic super lube. Get some under here. Thrust washer. Bushing. This other one, we don't got that kind of luck to do, but we can still get some underneath of it. Gear tower is over here, so this is going to sit in like this. We're going to get a little grease on these worm gears here. I'm going to put a little in these axles. Put some more grease on these gears. This is the only shot we get. Spread it around some, and then we'll throw the cover on it. These look like nice nylon gears here. Start them just a wee bit. This one here I can't get any grease or anything into because they've soldered it in, and that's disappointing. And it needs to have some way to give it some love. I mean, we can oil this one. How do we oil that one? That's not on right. You can see that tower is leaning. What do we got to do? Let's try that. Sure. Does the guy even need to put any grease on these? They're nylon. And that is one truck that is serviced. Now I got to do this to the other one, but I'll just do all that off camera. We'll come back when these are ready to go into the chassis. One quick little note, I'm working on this rear truck that doesn't have the gear tower on it. And you'd think that, oh, I can just throw it together any old way I want. And no, it's got this spacer right here, which is covering up the gap for the gear that would be driven by the gear tower. So you got to put this shaft in. It only goes in one way. And then this cover, it looks like it'll go on either direction, but it does truly only fit one way as well. So because of the lack of that gear, it makes it like, whoa, what's this? Well, where do I put all this? Where do I put all this at? So I had farted around with this and I was spinning it and it would spin good one way and not the other. And I didn't quite know what it was. It could have been that this bushing wasn't seated enough all the way. But, you know, just always as you're assembling stuff, fart with it, roll it, make sure it feels good and smooth. If it hangs up, time to get out there and work on it again, because everything's got to roll nice and smooth on these. Tenshoto formed in 1949 as a train store out in Tokyo, Japan, that made train models for the local Japanese people. Their goal is to pursue just the best models with their craftsmanship, making them the most prototypical type of models that anybody else has ever made. I was doing research. It said not only do they strive to make it look as real as possible, they also strive to make it sound as real as possible. And then they say that their models are like the Rolls Royce of the brass model trains. Who says this? Their marketing department? I guess I don't. I found that and I looked it up and I printed it and I didn't realize how silly it sounded until I just said it to you. They're kind of full of themselves. You know, gotta dream big or go home, I guess. U.S. servicemen were posted over in Japan after World War II. They hung out for a while. And then they created the demand for U.S.-styled locomotives that they could model and also bring home with them, you know, during the post-war period. One feller that was stationed over there started up a company called Pacific Fast Mail. You might have heard of them. He's the guy that started importing all this Japanese brass into the American market. One guy did it. Yeah, unbelievable. Apparently, post-war Japan, they were short on jobs. The economy was kind of tanked, you know, because Oppenheimer and his buddies building that gift basket that was flown over by the Air Force. Japanese brass was really expensive. 1949, probably up into the mid-50s, late 50s, early 60s. As soon as their economy recovered, then the price to bring these brass locomotives in it went up a lot. These handcrafted brass locomotives would price range $39 to $79. The Japanese recovery, the cost of labor, and the decline of the US dollar kind of priced the Japanese brass out of the US market. Pacific Fast Mail's imported 484. It went from $79 to over $700. Oof. The die casting industry, it started off really poor. And then as it got better and better and better, it kind of overtook the brass market because the die cast looked as good as the brass to most people. You know, some don't, you know, the brass guys will be, hey, don't be saying that. No, the die cast stuff looked really good, and that kind of led to the decline of the brass. The only real demand for brass nowadays is from the real old school modelers. And if you want kind of an abstract type of locomotive that they're not going to mass produce, that's where your brass might come in handy if you're looking for a specific oddball type of locomotive. I was doing some research on this video. I dug around, went to the eBay's pricing what these things go for. And you can see what they're asking for it right here. And then when you go to what it was sold for, there's quite a different picture. They don't, Tyco sells for more than this. Some of them, some of the Tyco. But, and you think the Steam's any different? No, the Steam, it its price kind of bottomed out too. So, you know, if you had a brass collection and you're thinking that your retirement was paid for, darn, that didn't work out very good, did it? Well, let's get back into working on this thing and try to get it running. This is the back of the locomotive where the gear tower goes. This is the front. I guess we can bolt this weight back in there. Oddly enough, it's even marked on the top of it, Tin Shodo. They're quite proud of their stuff back then. Maybe that'll give me a nice handle I can hold on to. The truck up front, it's insulated from everything. So we're gonna put her in, put the insulator, and then one of the nuts. Not the right tool for the job. Then this little filler, and then another nut. Not really a lot to assemble on these. This is all cleaned up. I shot a little oil up here, a little oil back there. It is turning smooth, isolated from the body due to this rubber pad right there. Oh, wow, okay. And then it grounds underneath of it. Why the pad? Maybe the pad makes the vibration go away. Could be. This is going to be a chore. I guess I should have bolted that down before I put the truck in. That's that hindsight 2020 stuff going on right there. If I can hold that and turn this, we'll be doing really good. Oh, we are doing good. Now we got to make a new drive line that's better than that one. We're down to just a couple parts and a little soldering. Might be able to test drive this thing. Somehow I got all these tubes here. They were empty. They used to have special shapes inside of them, and they make drive lines quite nicely. So we're going to want one that's that long. And then we got to do the custom work to it. A little saw like this, he might do a good trick. Might be just what the doctor ordered. So far, so good. Put one in. I like this. I like the thickness of this one here. Center it up. Seems like a Dremel would be a better, because we need some stuff removed. Oh, that worked out. We'll rotate it 90 and do the other cut. I've heard guys say they've used ballpoint pens, tubes, pieces, parts out of those, straws. I don't know. Yeah, this is too big a diameter. Dang it. This is wrong on 14 levels. Wonder if I can glue this end up and then redo it. So it's got some nice, the inside diameter is really what we're looking for here. They got that little thrust washer right there that goes under this truck. I just wonder if it's gonna work. Kind of looks like this is the time to put our drive line in up here too. Not helping anybody out on this, are they? Golly. Put drive line in, put the other drive line in at the exact same time. I got some of this very small diameter vacuum hose here. Oh yeah. Yes, that's going to work out fantastic. We will get this much, and vacuum line is what it is. And I've got too much. Get this upper gear tower in, and it kind of looks like the hose is what's going to keep it from falling out. So we're going to run this back this way as like a type of thrust washer. Like that. Everything I just cut off, I wished I still had right now. We need a fresh wire up over here. There's a little bit of flex going on. I think this is solid copper. As likely as it looks, it is actually ready to run. I say we put her on the track and see what it does. We just got done celebrating 4th of July. This week's Classic Model Trains Classic Model. I was trying to find something that could celebrate, that would have a 4th of July kind of theme to it. Took me a while, but I came up with this one right here. Maybe not a model, probably an actress. Same thing in my book-ish. But if you know who this is, type in the comments down below. If you don't, hang out to the end. I'll let you know who this is. Let's get back into it. I've seen things run better. This one, It's got a jackrabbit start because you got to absolutely slam all the juices to it. Plus it's loud. Plus it likes to bind up. See, now it won't go. And then I got to give it a little twisty here. Come on. Well, I guess I needed more throttle too. Just doesn't like to do the back and forth. Nope. Wide open throttle. I'm just wondering if that driveline is what's binding it up. Go the other way, nothing. Once everything gets a rolling, get her a little under control. Doesn't have much creep. We're pulling, what are we, 5 volts, a little under an amp. It was pulling like an amp and a half earlier. This is about its best creep. 3/4 of an amp, still 5 volts. But we know it ain't gonna, it still isn't gonna back up and go the other direction. Full throttle. Get her to go. The mercy is going on here. I'm gonna pull that driveline out, see if it increases the performance any. I forgot something. You pull the driveline out, then the front wheels won't turn after I did all that. But look at this, the motor, it doesn't bind. So that driveline was putting everything into a bind because I can get it to switch back and forth. It's super easy now. We gotta fix that driveline. Yup. Well, I filled in the gaps with the CA. I took some paper and rolled it up into a tube, stuck it inside there, filled it in with the CA, used the Instaset, filed it because it was kind of, I put several layers on it. Took a 5/16 drill bit up the center of it to get it opened back up again like it's supposed to be. Zit, just like the last one. Cut the notches open some, and they are 90 degrees from this one. And I'm thinking we're going to have better performance with it. So let me get it in and we'll find out. The performance, I believe, is quite a bit better. It's not binding up, so now it always switches the directions it needs to go. Still has the jackrabbit starts going. It's just hard. There, that one wasn't bad. Better creep speed. So it's important to make sure the drive lines are made the right direction. Now I guess we need to get that body on. Loud? Yeah. Creep speed? Better. Not as much as I'd hoped for, though. Oh, nope. Done. Oh well. It's old, like me. Let's get that body put back on. This thing has got the 3 light bulbs inside of it. It just seems like a guy should test them and, yes, and do something to get them all going. I'm lucky to have them with 1, let alone 3. Holy moly. What's a guy to do though? These all need to be wired together, and then it needs a wire going to that, and then we need to be able to tuck it all in there. So I think I will work on getting these put together with a common wire, solder. Yep, this big mass. This is going to end up going on. Oh, what do we got going on here? Didn't like what I built there. I just don't like it. The thing, it prefers not to fit. Okay, well, we'll work on it. Get this problem solved. Well, this is what I came up with. They're all wired together, and then there's just one common wire coming down to here. We're going to screw this body on, and it says that you use some 1.4 by 2 millimeter and 1.4 by 2.5 millimeter screw. And I don't have any of those, but I do got some 256s. There's 2 holes there, and there's 2 holes under here. And these holes look quite a bit smaller than a 256 would be. So I'm probably gonna have to drill them some to get it to fit. Some diligent drilling and tapping will get this whooped into shape. Bring it over here so I can spin my tap handle. Careful, gentle, brass. Nice and soft, makes it easy. See how my stanchions are broken again from looking at it too hard. 2 more under here and there. Drill and tap. Yep, this stuff is easy to work with. Have you ever wondered why the tap and drill set's got a number 50 and a number 43? Because one is bigger than the other. And that's why it says tap and clearance. So if you want to drill a hole for a 256 to pass through, you got to use the clearance. So these holes here need to be just a bit bigger. Just a bit. Here, here, and here. Make them all bigger, then I can get the 256s in it. Oh, that took a really long time. Screws sitting here, and then the other one is right back here, and then the other ones are here under the trucks. And if you ever wanted to get yourself a magnetic screwdriver, make sure to have one before you try to put those screws in, because I farted around and dropped them and on the floor, and it took 20 minutes, and oh my goodness. So now, put it on the track and see what it looks like with the fancy lights going on. Yeah. Dang it. Something's shorting out in it now. No, that working. I gotta take the body off again. Oh, it's probably the wire on top where the light is for touching the body. Okay. Comes apart faster than it goes together. Oh, well, golly. I don't see. I thought it might have been right there. That doesn't look excessive. Huh. Put it on the track. Well, it's ugly as sin, but it'll provide an insulator. I'm thinking right in this area here, it was having some conflict. Can I bend this down? Because it runs on the track now, as I hold the body up with my fingers. Maybe I'll just set it like that and see before we spend 12 hours trying to screw it down. This is Dumpster. She's our new pup. We lost another one here, Oogie, our black shepherd, about 3 weeks ago. So this one's here, and it's enduring its first 4th of July. It's the afternoon of 4th of July right now, Dumpster. And she is not liking it, so we'll get through it though, huh? Yes. Let's run this thing. Okay, that's what we wanted. Now let's screw the body back on. Nope. Shorting out. Eyeballing. Still eyeballing. Huge bulkhead right here. This thing could be getting scarily close to it. So I'm going to take this and flip it, spin it. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to loosen. I'm going to put this back like this. And I'm going to tighten it back up. And I think maybe I'll have something then. I got to get some little metric nut drivers. Dangest thing is that you just don't know if you've done any good, because it only does it when the body's bolted into place. Third time, put the bolts in, try it out again. Third time's a charm. That came out really not that shabby. Pulls a load nicely. A little over 1 amp, pulling it at about 7 volts right now. Lights are doing their thing, sure. Oh, the joys of brass. So it doesn't like to get going. That's got a load on it. Of course, it's a little bit more too. What if we took the load off? What's it gonna do then? Kind of more the same. Got kind of a gallop to it. Well, I guess another GP-20 to add to the old collection there. A little noisier than I thought it would be. Not a bad little runner though. I like putting the mistakes in because everybody learns from the mistakes. Little things you just don't know about. I could edit it all out, make it look like I'm some sort of master modeler here. Or I can just show you I'm just the guy, just a normal Joe, making mistakes left and right. Throw them in there. Don't bump that tripod, dum-dum. Don't bump that tripod, dumpster. Yes, you. Waiting for a pill to kick in for 4th of July. Well, this piece of brass is going to be up here on the wall, enjoying the fame. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that it was donated to the channel. 2 years ago, 4th of July, I took 4 days and made 4 videos for the January 1st, January 2nd, 3rd, 4th. This was back in my freshman year. And these videos, I've pulled them off of being able to find them for a couple years now. To celebrate this 4th of July, I'm going to put a link to them at the end of this video for them 4 videos. The only way you'll be able to get to them videos is through the links of this video right here. Showing you the last time I celebrated the 4th of July with all y'all out there, 2 years ago. I don't think I talked about 4th of July last year. I don't know. Trying to keep up with these videos as much as I can with all the other 1,800 things I got going on. Takes me a little bit. Some guys even reach out and make sure I'm still breathing. I tell you, that's dead. These guys, some guys just, it's so nice, so nice. So I'm wrong with classic model training. Oh, we got to tell you, the model of the week. Here's that's Linda Carter from the Wonder Woman. And here's a picture of what she looks like now. Holy moly, Linda Carter's kind of holding it together, ain't she? Yeah. Have a good one. Thanks for sticking around. Bye-bye.